So we are nearing the 20th anniversary of an album that Charlie Daniels Band did, and it's live in Iraq. And I was revisiting that and just hearing all of those sounds that you just talked about. I mean, he's got the hits on there, but then there's some of those longer, more instrumental jams that are very reminiscent of the Marshall Tuckers and Allman and the Allmans and I mean just an incredible album. What was it like to be there? And that was 2006? 2005.
Yeah, 2005.
Okay. Do you remember what time, like roughly when? Was it summertime? Or
it was summertime. Obviously, with your military history, it was a hotbed. 2004, 2005 was a hotbed in Iraq. Charlie had, prior to then, from 73, when I went to work for him, not until probably the late 70s, early 80s, we started playing a lot of military bases. But during what we call the Cold War period, I mean, we played every forward operating base there was in the world, I believe. I mean, we played everywhere. I mean, Charlie's first base was Thule, Greenland. But we had played so many bases when the trade towers came down, Iraq happened, Afghanistan happened, and Charlie wanted to be one of the first artists to go entertain the troops. So, and we did some USO tours, but we worked with a lady by the name of Judy Seal that had a boutique agency that specialized in going overseas to military bases. And so we were going to go, and we were all timid, excited, a little bit of fear going into a hotbed like that, combat zone. So I did what any self-respecting hillbilly would do. I decided I would buy a camera and document it. And then I found a little small recording board that I could plug into whatever mixing board we would have. And you, more than anybody, would know the availability of equipment in Baghdad or Al-Assad. You don't have a large menu to choose from. So we just took a little small recording machine, and I bought this camera online. I knew nothing about video cameras. And off we went, and we recorded Baghdad. We recorded probably 5 or 6 different forward operating bases. And not to take credit for it, but it was my idea. I said, we loved Fillmore East, Live at the Fillmore East by the Allman Brothers, and there was all these great live albums. I said, nobody's ever done a live. Who would ever think of an album live from Baghdad or live from Iraq? And so off we went, and the footage I shot was horrible. I was zooming in, zooming out. When I came home, I showed it to my wife, and it made her seasick. It made her dizzy because I was whipping the camera around. But I found a brilliant editor that helped me because I knew nothing about it, and I shot it on the little cassette tapes. And he was able to pull enough footage out of it for a visual piece. And then the recordings were pretty rough, but we were able to work on them. And obviously, we played a long time on some of the shows. I mean, when we got to Baghdad, I think we played for 2.5 or 3 hours. I mean, we had 5,000 young men and women out in front of Charlie. And so it brought on the need to do some of the longer jams, but also throw in Can't You See or throw in somebody else's songs. We wanted the kids to hear some hits, and we didn't have a lot of hits, but it was all in all, the crescendo of the first night in Baghdad was that Charlie said that, I don't know if anybody would care to come backstage and talk or shake my hand, or I'll sign an autograph, whatever you'd like for me to do. And we probably saw 4,000 people that night. We stayed there till 0300 probably, but he saw anybody that got in line, which was everybody. And that was the beginning of 3 other trips that we made, but I brought that stuff home. The fun thing about it is that I had about $2,200 invested in that whole thing, the camera included. And I think we sold it to a record label for $75,000, I think. And so we made money on it. And it was just a special piece. It was a keepsake for us, and we ended up retaining the rights to it, and so we released it on Blue Hat. And it was that's how it all started.
Yeah.
But we played. It was so much fun.